Hey guys, welcome back. It's time for another, well, I don't know what it is. Recently, there's been this thing where I mentioned the fact that whenever someone doesn't appreciate what I'm doing, doesn't like my videos, says they're drama, says they're garbage, says that I'm just looking for attention, says that I'm not helping anyone out, says that it should be kept in the shadows, it should be disclosed, it should be behind closed doors. Guess what? They get fucked. They get caught with their pants down. They get caught doing shady things. And this is one of those examples. We have Charizard _ King 24. Yes, you heard that right. The same Charizard _ King 24 that was being a wiener baby back in the fake case days. Whether this was because he was involved with it, whether it was because he was afraid that someday, Rattle's gonna make a video about me. He's gonna show that I'm a shady character like this video here. And that's exactly what we're doing today. This is it feels pretty good. It just kind of ends up, it happens, it works itself out. You can't scam people forever. You will get caught eventually. And I think that's exactly what we have here today. So if you have been, I feel like one of those like billboards or whatever, like, were you in a car accident? Have you been scammed by a Charizard _ King 24? If so, please reach out and I will do my best to provide some assistance in video form as a warning to others that we got some shady individuals. I mean, when you're hanging around with the Pokeju, when you're in there taking takes that are similar to the Pokeju's, you're defending the Pokeju who did no research, who was probably involved because he was in Liquid Marketplace. He was a Liquid Marketplace boy. Probably trying to pass that off. They got to get it in the vault, guys. I would imagine that the Pokeju got paid off. He was part of it. He was getting paid by Liquid Marketplace. They're supposed to, but they had to remove him because it looked bad because optics. But here we have it. Let's read Charizard _ King 24's takes before we get into his dirty deeds that he's been doing recently, where he got caught with his shorts down. He says, I think it's too much of a liability for any company or person. I do hope they open that case and it turns out legit for everyone involved. It's a lot of money. However, the way the YouTube guy went on about it, though, could backfire if it turns out to be legit. This was from Logan Paul episode 3 with the fake case. It's going to backfire. And wait, are you afraid to say my name, Charizard _ King 24? Because I'll say yours. I'm going to say it a lot in this video. You'll see. I'd pursue defamation case with this much money and reputation on the line. Ooh, it's a good thing we got the disclaimer. Play the disclaimer. Pause it if you need to, Charizard _ King 24. Just causing too much commotion for some views, and it would be bad look overall for the community if it actually is fake. So hide the scams. Hide the scams, he's saying, because it would be bad. It's a bad thing to expose things. Whew, you're not going to like this video. Would scare away any newcomers into the hobby. You mean the newcomers that you can take advantage of? He could have just put together what he found and presented it to the people involved behind closed doors instead of doing what he did. Again, it just doesn't benefit anyone. I hope the couple new subscribers were worth it. We'll just play that off as Charizard King 24 was that blunder. We're not re-recording this. Another take down below here by Charizard _ King 24, who says, not saying anything about the research, just the way he handled the situation and went on about the whole thing. He can do what he likes, but my personal opinion is it could have been handled better, that's all. So it could have been handled better, as in I could have, taken a bribe. I could have, hey guys, by the way, this is fake. You should definitely do a better job of hiding it. You know what? Maybe we should have let it be. We should have let it get all the way to Liquid Marketplace, where it was in a vault where people could buy fractional shares of G.I. Joe cards, and then no one ever opens it because they always keep the majority of the tokens. Everyone gets ripped off. The platform looks more official than what it was, which is pretty hard to do because it didn't look very official from the beginning. But this is what you're dealing with here. You're dealing with the Pokejus, the guys that will do shady things with packs. You're dealing with people that will not disclose them. It's one thing to like lie about how much you paid for something, as we'll see, but it's another thing that you can't even tell your client how much you sold an item for. You're going to lie to them so that you can take a larger commission than what you let on. Fucking dirtbag. All right, let's first look at the PokeX Baller stories, the Instagram stories. Thank you very much to everyone that sent these to me. I think Z was the first one to do so, but much appreciated for everyone and anyone that's on the lookout for scum daddies, especially when they're scum daddies that really have it. They have it coming. They have it coming. He definitely had it coming. Now, we have this story here that says Charizard King Murph claimed to have sold my Lugia for $5,000. He sent me $4,750. The next story proves he takes more than his 5% commission. He sold the Lugia for $6,000. Nice. Here we go. We have the Godly Shad, who made a post here, reposted by Pokeballer, where he is asked, Charizard King is asked how much he sold it for. How much did you sell the Lugia for, Charizard King? And he says, way over 5K. Well, that seems a little dirty. Seems like you're playing a little bit of a dirty game there with your consignment services that I would not recommend using if you're going to do some dirty shit like that. That's not good. It's not good for your clients. Not good for your reputation. Here, Godly Shad says, proceeds to tell a Pokeballer he sold for 5K and gave him a net of 4.75K. Not the first time I've seen him do this stuff. If his fee is 5%, he's 100% in the wrong. And I would 100% agree with that. If he's doing dirty things, if you're saying you're taking a percentage, but then you take the percentage on a number that is fictitious because you're pocketing a bunch of extra money on top, how many times have you done this, Charizard King? Surely where we see a little bit of fraud going on here. This couldn't have happened before, right? It's weird that you can't show your client any of the details. It's weird that you didn't really want to talk to me. We're going to get to that. Don't worry. What's going on here? I know what you're thinking. Rattle, do you have all the receipts? We have many receipts. We have a lot of receipts here. Here's the transaction, the $47.50 that was paid out when pretending that it sold for 5K. Okay, let's reach out to Charizard_King24 on Instagram to find out what's going on. And I ask him, we're going to be straight up with it. A lot of people say, like, hey, should I be afraid that Rattle added me on Instagram? No, you probably shouldn't. But when you get a message like this and when you've done something wrong, you absolutely should be. So I ask, how have you been? What's this I hear about you screwing people on commissions? And he says, I'm not entertaining that guy. Appreciate your concern, though. And he provides a screenshot of something that is just them talking about what the bottom dollar value is that he would like to take for the card. I don't know if I need to explain this to anyone. I mean, apparently I do need to explain it to Charizard_King24, who is playing dumb here. But just because somebody says what you ask them what their bottom dollar is, and they say what that is, if they're consigning an item with you, you should be wanting to get the most for it that you can, because you get more. That percentage that you agreed upon is larger, and you have a happy client. This is a lot of him playing dumb, so we got to take that into consideration. But he says, guy was only taking 4.5K bottom. He got paid more than his bottom price. We got 5K for it, and he threw a tantrum. Even if I sold it for 20K, he was okay taking 4.5K. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. He got paid. So we got a flip-flop here between the story that he wants to say it was 5K. We can be pretty certain, based on all of the things that were shown, including his lack of transparency with the seller and with myself, that it did not sell for 5K. He told other people himself that it didn't sell. It sold for way more than 5K. What's way more than 5K? We can only guess. 6K? Is it 6K? Who knows? But it was more than 5K. So regardless of whatever it was, if he's saying it's more than 5K, he fucked his client right in the ass. If the agreement was 5%, which, spoiler alert, we're going to find out it was. No. Even if you sold it for 20K, if he's okay with taking 4.5K, if you agree upon a percentage, and I know I don't have to explain this to him. He knows how this works. He got caught fucking this person, and now we're going to fuck him for it in a video. Guys, be very careful with who you're dealing with and a lack of transparency on this end. If you're consigning stuff with them, it doesn't matter. If all the information isn't available to you, if stuff isn't black and white from the beginning, be careful. Be very careful. Charizard King, what a fucking scumbag. Absolute dickbagger. I ask, did you tell him you would be taking 5%? And he says, yep. Okay, so is yes, 5%? And he says, my fees range 5 to 15% depending on item. He was happy and netting 4.5K. He got more. Okay, just because you gave him slightly more than what his minimum was doesn't give you permission to sell it for way more money and take a giant chunk that isn't the 5% on top of the 5%. You took the 5% off the 5K, but then you also took whatever that difference is between 5K and a lot more than 5K, in your words. What the hell? I asked, do you have part of the DMs where you told him it would be 5 to 15%? And he says, I'm not going to keep entertaining his tantrum. If he got paid $0, this would be understandable. No, that would be more of a ripoff, but you're doing snaky shit. You're ripping people off. You're just not completely ripping them off to the point that you get caught. Like if you give them nothing for it, like you get exposed right away. How many people has he done this to before this? Where they just didn't see the transaction, just like top secret. You know, all these transparency guys, the guys that are like, oh yeah, why can't you just be more transparent about stuff? And then, well, I guess this guy is anti-transparency from pretty much everything that he does. Just like the Logan case should have been behind closed doors. Don't tell them it's fake in public. Don't make videos. Don't tell the average Pokemon collector what's going on. Well, I got bad news for you, Charizard_King24. That's what this channel is all about. So suck it. I'm traveling for the holiday. Don't have time to keep wasting on this. Thanks. Thumbs up. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. You can be riding a donkey in the desert, upside down, with a castle and a princess that's moaning your name. I don't give a fuck what you're doing. I don't give a shit. If you don't want to explain, just say you don't want to explain. I'll find out the rest of the information without, I guess I say this in the reply. We should just read the conversation. If you don't want to explain, that's fine. I'll run it with the information I have. More content your way. Good luck, dog pound emoji. I say you can't advertise a percentage. Ask someone for their min, sell it for way more, and just keep whatever you want. What did it actually sell for? And does it surprise anyone that we got the big old, sorry this page isn't available because Charizard_King24 blocked us. Oh no, the dreaded Rattle block. You know, when you block Rattle, you fucked up. You fucked up. And not only that, the fact that you blocked me is kind of embarrassing because clearly you don't understand that I can just open an incognito tab like so and see your whole fucking profile. We'll have to do some looking into this, but we have some interesting stuff already flowing into Pokeballer in the DMs, and I'm sure we'll get lots in response to this video. But here we have someone who is claiming that we have some shenanigans going on with a Call of Legends booster box, where he took the hits out of it. It's weird. He took the shinies out, opened them for himself. So we'll don't worry, we're going to be looking into this as well. But interesting to see. We got, when a little bit of shade starts coming out, we get more shade. We're seeing all the shade here. Interesting stuff. Not as interesting as this one here. Pokelords, who said that Charizard King said that he sold it for 6K. So this is where the 6K number comes from, where Pokeballer thought it was 6K. Again, we don't have the exact confirmation on that, but if we have Pokelords saying that was sent to him, that the 6K number was mentioned, and then a deleted message, well, he's looking a whole lot like the J-Boys from the fake case. Were you involved in the fake case, Charizard King? Do you know more about the fake case that you wanted me to keep in private? Please share. Please share. All right, last one here before we get into the original DMs, which kind of blows everything out of the water, shows everything that we need to see, in my opinion. The Godly Chat here makes another post. It says, always two sides to the story. If Zard King promised 5% fee on sale price and it did, in fact, sell for more than 5K, then yes, he did manipulate the deal. I'm just giving what I've seen. I've had a similar experience with Charizard_King24 where I found a card for him for 3.5K. He told the person looking for it that he bought it for 4.5K. and wanted commission on top of it. Again, manipulating the deal so he can score a huge spread. He's a businessman, and I get he's trying to maximize gains, but that's pushing it a little in my opinion. So I don't think this is nearly as bad. It's still bad. You still shouldn't be lying to somebody about what you paid for something in order to get more money out of them. Like, there's no need for it. That's fucking shady. That's gross. But a whole different story when you're selling something for someone else. You're consigning an item for someone else, and you fuck them on what they should have received for the item. under the guise that you're a cool dude that's doing it for 5%. No, you're not. You fucked them on the top end. The most important part, and the part that maybe most of you were waiting for, is the entire DMs. We got the entire DMs. We got at least enough of the DMs that we can see what's going on here versus the back and forth or the cherry picked stuff that we got from Charizard_King24. From this, we can see exactly. This first one is the most damning of evidence. I don't know why that wasn't posted, but we have it now. Here it is. And we have Pokeballer asking, can you help a brother? With what? This Lugia? Yeah, for sure. I charge a mere 5% fee to consign. Weird that you didn't mention here that you're also going to take everything over the min. Because what a dishonest fucking... There's the dog pound emoji. Dog pound yourself in the ass, motherfucker. What a shitbag. Merely indeed. So can you advertise and I ship once sold, or you want me to ship to you? Have to have the item in hand. Yeah, you got to have the item in hand. You got to control the entire transaction so that you can make sure that if you get extra money, it goes into your own pocket. And then you just say, oh, it's sold for the minimum or slightly above the minimum. You should be happy. You should be thanking me and not causing a scene because I fucked you. Covers grading cost. Fire emoji. Trying this guy at the 5K net your way. We'll see. That would very nice. You bought it raw, I'm guess for dirt cheap, yeah? So is this him digging or trying like to feel less bad about what he's doing? Oh, it's okay. He didn't actually buy it for that much money. He got it. He graded it himself. It's all profit for him. So it doesn't matter if I fuck him and everyone else that I consign for. I don't know if he actually does it for everyone else, but I'm assuming that this has happened before. Usually where there's a little bit of fraud, there's usually a whole lot of fraud, as we've seen. It wouldn't surprise me if he's done this to others. Wouldn't surprise me if I hear more about that from other people. Again, he's gonna do his best to hide this shit. Seems like he's well practiced, although there are some signs here that he is shafting. Big W in time for Christmas. Buy me something nice. See the scammers. They're always like, oh yeah, I'm doing you such a favor. I'm doing you such a solid. Wow, buy me something. I'm gonna make you so much money. Says, I got you on some McDonald's, sunglass emoji face, fancy as F. You hit 2 of them, right? Yo, everyone broke. Stop grading cards. You want $200 for the Lugia? Cut your losses. So we got some sarcasm here. $200. Lucky day. Covers grading costs. Trying this guy at 5K net your way. We'll see. So, I mean, if you're going to... had he just paid $5,000, this probably never gets exposed. And that's probably what's happened previously. Like he got a little bit greedy and kept the extra $250. Breathe. Could be a time waster. I'm assuming someone was showing interest. Was he offering more than 5K? True. Can't ejac too early. Send your PayPal in case it gets paid. LOL. Prematurely. SMH. So we get the email there that I'm going to have to remember to block out. Very classic. Who this? He put the deposit down. Rest should clear Monday, smiley face. So the deposits, that's a little interesting because we don't get to see the deposit. And we have, hey, you sent 4,750. You said you were trying for 5,000 net my way. I guess we accidentally gave him the G-baller accent, but I imagine that a lot of that going back and forth, that should have been a regular voice. For distinction purposes, I got the 5K. Monte's 5%. You said the bottom was 4.5. We beat that shit by $500. Say thanks, OMG. Yeah, thanks for ripping me off and not like giving me 4,500 instead. Net 5,000 is 5,000 to me. If it's 4,750, say it's 4,750. Keyword, trying to net 5K. Why are we arguing when we made more? I understand, but then say, hey, we got 5K. Okay, sorry for the technicality. We got 5K thumbs up emoji. Netted you 47.50. I paid for express shipping with signature on top of that from my cut, which was $75. If you had said it couldn't get 5,000, you'll net 47.50. It'd be all good, but you didn't have that communication. I'd like confirmation of what the buyer paid. Gotcha. Okay. Normally, when I net more than what the minimum sale was, it isn't an issue. You're the first to express frustrations. What? So it has happened before. You are doing this and just not letting on. Is that like an admission here? Like I said, if you had told me right away that, hey, I got 5,000 total, 4,750, I'd be cool with that. If you say trying for 5,000 and then sell it, logically, that's what I'd expect to get. Please provide confirmation. Confirmation of what? What the buyer paid. Are you not reading? I said 5K. Screenshot of payment? Yes. Dude, wire hasn't even cleared. I paid you out before it did. It's still pending. Okay, so it should say that. Just want to confirm the amount. WTF, you want me to show you my bank account? It's an email. I'll screenshot the pending payment. You're doing the most right now. I'm at the gym. I'll send in a sec. This is the last time I help you. You came to me. I don't appreciate the hassle over a communication. Payment hasn't cleared yet, and I still paid you out. So we got a $10,000 wire transfer. Cool. That's the total for Lugia, plus other things he bought. You happy? Jesus. That's for the 3 sealed packs, PSA 10 packs, but okay, man, I get it. You said he made a deposit and that the rest would clear Monday. That wire says 11:20, but I'm small time, so whatever, enjoy. He never did. I knew he was good for it. Done a ton of business with him. The packs are 5K for art set. Math, huh? I reckon you sold it for 5,500 to 6,000. No way you take the baseline amount for someone who's done business with you. Offer that much and only that much. People negotiate, and then you send the cash without a message. You can quietly pocket the extra. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's looking like. I'm gonna toss on the statements, the other Instagram stories by Pokeballer, who posted those to his Instagram just for future reference. Those will be playing right now. But I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to another one of these videos. Hopefully this sheds a little light on the true character of Charizard_King24 and what's going on with him, with his consignments. Hopefully if he did fuck a bunch of people, which it sure looks like he did, that he doesn't have the opportunity to do that in the future. Spread the word. Friends don't let friends consign cards with Charizard_King24. Fuck him and fuck Pokaju for all the shady shit that he's done, all the payouts he's taken. He's got some more feature coming up with the mystery boxes, so look forward to that. I got some hot shit cooking for videos coming up. Look forward to those. Join the Discord, and I'll see you next time. Here's the clips for anyone interested.
Everybody, for those still confused about the situation I've been posting about, I reached out to Charizard King, Murph, and to sell a Lugia PSA 10, the Secret Wonders Hollow, and you know, he advertises on his story all the time, 5% commission. So after a few days of advertising it, he posts a story saying pending. So I reply to that saying, you know, what's the deal? And he says, trying to get you 5K net. And then the next story, 5 minutes later, he posts sold, right? And I reply to that, and he says buyer made a down payment and that the rest should clear Monday. Monday comes around, he sends me 4,750. And come to find out, he actually sold the card for 6,000. You could see in my previous story, he said way over 5K. So it could even be more than that. Who knows? And sent me 4,700. So yeah, sold it for 6,000, maybe more. I net 4,750. Obviously a lot more than 5% as he advertised. I'm sure he's done this to countless people. And the way that he gets you, he'll give you a range. He'll be like, what do you want for it, right? And in full transparency, I did say my bare minimum, right, would be 4,500. I did say that. I said 4,500 to 6,000. But I don't use cosigners that often, right? If at all. And I imagine this guy would get me the top price, right? It wasn't like, oh, yeah, like you get 6,000 and I, you know, will take the low amount. You said 5% of the total price, so it really doesn't matter what my range was. If you could get even more than 6,000, why wouldn't you do that for your client, right? I'm your client. I'm using your service. You should want to get the most money, right? So you can get repeat business and what? And I'm reasonable, man. If he had been like, yo, I sold it for 6, I'd be like, yo, let me get 5,250. and you keep $750. More than 5%, right? I'm reasonable, man. Just be transparent with me. Matter of fact, he never would have gotten exposed for this had he just said to me Friday when it sold, hey, bro, I could only get you $4,750. But said trying for $5K, doesn't say a price at the end of it. Be like, hey, man, just to confirm with you, this is what the best offer I could get. Do you want to keep selling it? Do you want to, pat? Like, it's just like, oh, yeah, sold and no communication after. It's just like, bro, what the fuck is that? Tell me what I'm getting. If he had just said that, this whole situation would have been avoided. Like, oh, okay, that's fine. Cool with me. I'm not greedy. I'm cool with the price, but don't lie to me.